that a lot of people just kind of turn in and just accept their fate and take the disease and die within a couple of years. So, a bunch of families like Quinn for the Win and the Samarshas, they have decided to kind of live their life as inspirations for others and out in the public. So, in August of 2014, when the Ice Bucket Challenge came about, I believe it was Anthony's cousin, is Chris Kennedy, the professional golfer, is the first one to take the Ice Bucket Challenge dedicated towards ALS. The Ice Bucket Challenge had been kicking around the internet for other causes about 6 months prior. However, it never really caught the fire that the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge did. So once that Chris Kennedy did the Ice Bucket Challenge for ALS, we got him. We were connected through another ALS patient, Pat Quinn, down in New York, where Anthony is from and lived. So Pat Quinn got a hold of it, and he immediately sent it up to Pete up in Boston. And my brother's network is just amazing. He went to Boston College, which is a really great school for networking, and he was classmates with two professional athletes, Brian Boyle in the NHL and Matt Ryan for the Falcons. Mm-hmm. So he leveraged his network, his influencer network, and became, he was very well respected in the Boston professional community as well. He was doing group insurance sales at the time down in downtown Boston. Yep. He lived in South Boston, which is a young professional neighborhood. So he was, just out and about all the time in Boston, and became very influential with his peers. And when the Ice Bucket Challenge was sent up his way, we leveraged his network and his connection to, take upon this vehicle of ALS awareness.
Now, I have a question. I recently watched your mom's TED Talk, and she spoke about how when Pete was diagnosed in 2012, there were no cures, that it had been almost 70 years that since Lou Gehrig had been diagnosed, and there had been no strides made. And she thought that was unbelievable, that it, like, in modern day science really wasn't, she couldn't believe that there was no progression. So my question is, do you think that the Ice Bucket Challenge is the biggest thing that has ever happened to the awareness and the research and the dedication to the disease of ALS?
Yes, I always say that once this disease is cured and figured out, and there's a treatment or cure, there. If you look back at the timeline of the disease, right? So you will see two main dots on the top. If you're visualizing a timeline, you'll see 1939 when Lou Gehrig was diagnosed, and he did his luckiest man in the world speech at Yankee Stadium, and then you'll see another dot, 2014, August of 2014, when the Ice Bucket Challenge hit, because between there, really nothing happened. So then now it's 2014 until there's a treatment and a cure, because it is an absolute game changer. We've heard from scientists, the ALS Association, other ALS charities that said it was a complete game changer. The FDA, the Food and Drug Association, they just expedited the approval of a new ALS drug, because
I saw that.
So that's unprecedented. There was no U.S. data for this FDA to approve this drug, which is a requirement.
It had been 22 years, correct, since they had approved any type of drug for ALS?
Correct. The last one was in 1995. So for them to approve this drug with no U.S. data is unprecedented. They've never done that before in the history of the FDA, for them to approve a drug with no U.S. data. So they said they heard us. They said they heard the Ice Bucket Challenge. They saw the urgency that they need to move within this disease. So without a doubt, we've heard from the FDA, scientists, the ALS Association, other ALS charities that the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge was a complete game changer.
I am on the phone with Doreen Gordon, president of the Greater New York ALS Association. The connection between the Sinertia family and the Greater New York chapter was expressed to me throughout other interviews through this whole ordeal. Can you explain to me what Anthony and his family may have meant to the chapter in your eyes?
He certainly was an invaluable and inspirational person to not only to me personally, but to the entire ALS community. I first met Anthony, it must have been, many years ago, maybe about 10 years ago. His family participated in our Westchester Walk to Defeat ALS. The Walk to Defeat ALS is a national fundraising effort, and our Greater New York chapter has 7 walks throughout our area, and we have one in Westchester. And many years ago, Anthony's family formed a team called Pelham Power.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were very pleased that they participated. And of course, after the Ice Bucket Challenge, Ice Bucket Challenge started, it was just really a whirlwind, trying to keep up with literally the wave of enthusiasm and excitement that we had never seen before. I've been involved because my mother died of ALS in 1992.
I'm extremely sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and so at that time there was no New York chapter, so I helped. I established the New York chapter, and I have never seen the excitement, the level of excitement that was generated by the Ice Bucket Challenge. It was really just tremendous. So to use a football analogy, I always say that Anthony was, Anthony, and then of course, as you know, there was Pat Quinn and Pete Frates. But to us, Anthony was like the center. He snapped the ball for ALS, and Pat kind of picked it up, maybe as the quarterback, and passed it to Pete, who carried it over the goal line. But the bottom line is that the play doesn't begin until the ball is snapped, and we are so grateful for Anthony snapping the ball for ALS.
Anthony, Pete, and Pat made the Ice Bucket Challenge go international. They got it all over the internet. Now, in your work with the association, have there been other, obviously not maybe monetarily, but have there been other fundraisers that have made it as international as the Ice Bucket Challenge did?
Well, that's sort of hard to say. I think in terms of a singular phenomenon, the Ice Bucket Challenge was clearly unique. There are fundraisers that are used by different associations in different countries, like, for example, a walk for ALS, right? Or there's another fundraiser in Australia, England, New Zealand, South Africa called Drink Tea for MND, right, or motor neuron disease. ALS and MND are interchangeable, by the way. It's just different terminology in different countries for the same disease or group of diseases. So there have been things like that, but if you're talking about a singular social media moment that went viral like this, no, that would be the Ice Bucket Challenge. Is unique, singular, original, and I think there's recognition about that not only within the ALS-MND community, but also in other communities, in the communications community, much bigger than just us. This is recognized as a once-in-a-lifetime kind of phenomenon that, in fact, people have tried to repeat, and they can't.
I'm currently speaking on the phone with Mr. Stuart Diamond, the editor-in-chief of EmpoweredDoctor.com, who is also the media rep for the Castle Connolly Awards that are given out every single year. And in 2015, the National Leadership Award honoree was Anthony Senerchia Jr. Mr. Diamond, can you please speak to me as to why Anthony was chosen in 2015 for this award?
That was an extraordinary year in the entire history of fundraising for medical conditions. And it was, for whatever the reasons that were came together that allowed the ALS community to so benefit from this one ice bucket challenge. Now, as originally the ice bucket challenge was not designed for an ALS, specifically for ALS. It was just generically for any condition, I believe. And it was coming out of a golf tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Called. And it just landed on the doorstep of Jeanette Senerchia.
Mm-hmm.
She did the Ice Bucket Challenge in honor of ALS. And in the local community in, I guess, Mount Vernon and New Rochelle, they started spreading around, and then friends began to pick it up. And just as it had, because that network, it became electric. And within the course of the following year, they raised well over $100 million for ALS. The number probably keeps rising. And it became a worldwide phenomenon. Clearly, this was electric, and Jeanette and Anthony both agreed that it was an accident of fate and destiny that this occurred, and they didn't particularly think they deserved so much credit for it. It was just a phenomenon they happened to be in the middle of. Of course, they were delighted by it. And I recall Jeanette's, when I asked her what was the benefit of it, she said, "Oh, this is my 15 minutes of fame, and I got to meet Derek Jeter," being just a lovely, fun lady that she was. The import was that, and why they were honored, I would say, was that showing what individuals could do, a single family, or not famous, not well known, could help change the world. Traditionally, these awards are given to very well-known, established celebrity figures. That you can look at the list. Mehmet Oz would win it, and it was delightful to be able to give it to a regular family who had, just because of them trying to help out, had been able to do something that really did change the world.